For the past couple weeks, I've been trying to fix my gauge cluster, and I've pretty much succeeded for the most part. So I got everything else working: speedometer, odometer, trip meter, battery, oil pressure, everything but my temperature gauge. Now I figured, you know, it's a nice sunny, beautiful 80-degree days out here in Texas, and I told myself, hey, you know, why not go work on the project car? And that's exactly what we're doing today. I got myself this new little thermostat that we're going to be replacing on the Mustang today, and hopefully that solves my little issue. Welcome to Project Pony. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, I got everything else working. I've been driving this for the past week, and I can tell you everything else is fine. The only one that's not fine, as you can probably see, is my temperature gauge. That is supposed to be over here on that side, and we're gonna fix that today. All right, so first things first, you're gonna wanna open your hood and find your upper radiator hose. That's gonna be this hose right here. Follow it, and then right back here, that's where the thermostat housing is. You know, obviously you're gonna have your spark plug wires in the way. I just went ahead and, you know, unhooked them from right here. And basically this right here is where we need to get to. First things first, you're probably gonna make a mess because you gotta take this out and coolant's probably gonna go everywhere. I'm actually not in the garage right now. I got this in my driveway. I know, shocker. We're gonna start by taking this off. Alright, so I probably should have learned my lesson, you know, from when I took off the actual overflow tank to get the actual pliers I needed for this, because I mean, you can take it off with some regular pliers, but I mean, we use the actual pliers at work, like the clamp pliers, and that's just like way easier. But either way, I got it off. I made a mess. Next thing you want to do, you got 2 bolts up here just holding that in place. They're both gonna be 10 millimeters. Take those off and then that should slide right out. I watched like a video on actually how to do the jobs I do before I actually do the jobs I do, and every single video I watched had this thermostat like totally different. You know, it's all pretty similar for the most part, but take these 2 bolts out like I said, and then this little cover pops out. The ones I watched had it like way different. It's supposed to have like, I don't know, it was like, it's slightly different. I don't know how to describe it. This thermostat, the old one, was supposed to come out with it. Mine didn't, but you know, it's all right. We figured it out. So when you take it off, this is what it's supposed to look like. That's where like it sits in. When I took that cover off, mine was still like just sitting in there. You can't really take it out with just your bare hands, so I just grabbed a screwdriver and just popped it out that way. It came out pretty simple, so you shouldn't really have that much trouble with it, if any. What you want to do now is grab your old or your new thermostat. I'm pretty sure you can just throw on the old gasket onto the new one. I went ahead and bought a new one, so I think all we have to do is just drop this in there, seal everything back up, and then we should be good to go. I'm gonna hop in the car, test drive it, and then we also, before we do any of that, we do have to fill up our coolant tank because we made quite a mess down there. I still got the things from last time, but yeah, man, this is pretty straightforward thing, you know, nothing really too crazy. Let me stop talking. I'm gonna throw this in there and then we'll go from there. So I ran into my first problem. I'm just put these side by side and see if you guys can tell me what that problem is. Okay, so for starters, this one right here, that's the new one. It's slightly different than this one. You know, it's still a thermostat, it should still do its own thing. This one apparently is for higher temperatures, which, you know, that's not really a problem. The problem is the old one right here. This is way bigger. Like, I just tried to like slide that on there and it didn't fit. Shout out to the guy at AutoZone who told me, oh no, it'll be fine. Like, bro, just give me what I asked for. No, I gotta hop in the race car, go to AutoZone, which honestly is just it's customary at this point. Anytime I do anything in the car, no matter what it is, I have to end up going to AutoZone. That's just the way it goes. That's just how my Saturdays go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. This is exactly why I keep every receipt, because every time I go to AutoZone, I always have some issues. So I just throw them all in here, because uno nunca sabe. What that means, you never know. I think this one's it. If not, then alright, so back from AutoZone. As far as reinstall goes, throw the new gasket on there, drop that in there. This little cover, we slide that back on like so. These 2 bolts go in, you pop that back in, and should be good. Okay, super simple job. Literally it's gonna be about 5 minutes if, you know, we're taking out the AutoZone trip. After you're done with that, you know, come over here. Coolant is kind of low, so I'm gonna top that off. We're gonna start the car, see if my temp gauge moved at all. If it did, we're gonna go for a little drive. If not, then I hate this car. All right, y'all, moment of truth. Hey, yo, what the fuck? I'm gonna check for leaks and then we're gonna come back to that. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to let this car, I guess, warm up a little bit, like get to normal operating temperature. See if that moves at all. If not, then I once again have to take all of this apart, move the needle back by hand, and then see if that does anything, because as of right now it's kind of not moving.